Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Rotring Tikki with a lead size of 0.7 millimeters. Um, the thing which really attracted me to this pencil was my previous experience with Rotring. My first Rotring was a Rotring 500, which I bought in Montreal from Nota Bene. Uh, I'll be honest with you guys, this pencil lasted me about a year and a half. It was the pencil which I used every single day almost when I needed a pencil and I was in school or at my internships. The only time when I wasn't using it was when I was off, basically. But anyways, that pencil was really great. It was black and it had red accents, just regular, classic Rotring design. The only problem with it is that I did lose it after a lecture, and I, no joke, almost cried. Although I did just pay $30 for the pencil, that pencil was of such high quality, so great to use. Um, so after losing the pencil, I almost instantly bought an upgrade to that. I bought a Rotring 800. I don't currently have it with me, but the Rotring 800 came with a defect when I bought it, which was really unfortunate for a company like Rotring, where you would expect to obtain a defectless product from them. But anyways, the barrel was cracked. I did use it for I want to say a month and a half, but it did the whole mechanism stopped working. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna assume it had to do with the defect of the barrel, which just didn't cause enough force for the whole push mechanism to work. But anyways, after that, I did decide to give Rotring another chance. However, I did buy a cheaper alternative to both the 500 and the 800. Um, this is when I bought the Rotring's Tikki kit. This kit is quite different to the 500 and the 800. If I'm correct, the Rotring 500 and 800 are both made in Germany. However, the Rotring Tikki is made in China. So, the one thing I do like about the Rotring Tikki kit is, as you can see, what I've pulled out. Um, they do include a pack of 0.7 millimeter leads, 12 units, and they also include an eraser branded Tikki. This eraser has been pretty good as well. One thing which you might have noticed, I did take off the clip. I don't remember where I put it, unfortunately. This wasn't a defect from the manufacturer or anything. This was my fault. Um, so the body itself is mostly made out of plastic. I'm gonna assume some sort of polyethylene, maybe ABS, but I want to assume polyethylene. This does scream of polyethylene to me. The tip is, I do believe, made out of aluminum. So this is the internal mechanism. As you can tell, the grip is integrated into the barrel. Um, it's some sort of rubber. How they did it though is quite interesting to me, as I don't know. I will assume that it's a little bigger and then they shrink wrap it, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure. The barrel itself is, as you can tell, comes off easily as one piece. It does come with an eraser, which I've already used. Um, the uh, the tip is, I want to say, made out of aluminum. Yeah, just has the weight and quality of aluminum, and the threads, as you can tell. I really want to assume polyeth that. Oh, this does have a 5 on it. This might not be polyethylene. Forget what. Anyways, not real, not, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to put words in my mouth. Uh, but anyways, As you can tell, the chuck's also made out of brass, which is what you want to see in a good quality mechanical pencil. So I will put the assembly back together. Just bear with me for a second. Uh, put the tip in first, and then I'll put the cap back. Fuck. Okay, well, I did lose the lead. That's okay. Uh, so, will this work? Yes. So, the pencil itself has a length of 'So I want to say it has a length of about 14.5 millimeters. But how does it feel to write with? And I forgot to measure the diameter. Uh, the Tikki has a diameter of 9.5 millimeters, I want to say, approximately. Uh, Also, you do have to note that the spherical, cylindrical grip does turn into a triangular shape. So this is somewhat of a guesstimate. But it does approximately, let's call it 10 millimeters by 14.5 millimeters. I mean, 10 millimeters by 145 millimeters. And it does have a push feeder mechanism. So, next thing to test. Next thing to test is first the comfort. This pencil does feel comfortable. I'll be honest with you guys. The rubber grip does have quite a nice feeling to it. I'm also really the way that it's molded onto the polyethylene body does interest me. Um, Also, the push mechanism works mostly fine. I haven't had any jams with it that I can recall, so that's good. The expected life of the components, the fact that this has a brass chuck will extend its life significantly. But I do think that I do think that the material selection for this is okay. Look, it's not paying for an all metal construction here. This is about $15 on Amazon. If you do want a higher end pencil, go get a Rotring 500. Go get a Rotring 800. But this isn't trying to be a Rotring 800. It's trying to be a cheaper alternative. But could I see this being reliable for someone that does write with a mechanical pencil on a daily basis? Absolutely. However, if you do want more weight, as you would get in a more traditional drafting pencil, like a Rotring 500, 800, Pentel Graph Gear 2000, this might not be perfect for you. Um, but for for a student who mostly just writes things on a piece of paper, uh, this is a solid choice, just based on the choice of the materials and the construction itself. Um, I do want to write with it a bit more just to see you guys. This pencil. So this does feel nice. The grip does have good friction with the fingers, which is what you want in a grip, right? You don't want it to be slippery. You do want the grip to go against the. Basically, don't want it to slip. If you have a super smooth surface, it's going to be harder, right? You'll have to press harder versus a grip with more friction. You won't have to press as hard on the pencil to get it to write, which will mean that you won't have to press as hard on the page to write. Which means that you won't have to use as much lead, which is what you want in a good quality pencil. It does feel stable when writing. I'll also make a cube just to check stability. Um, yeah, as you can tell, it's not super accurate or precise. This would be precision, but it does work okay. Like if you're using this to write math or just write essays, you'll be okay. If you need a drafting pencil, a drawing pencil for technical applications, you might want to upgrade to something a little bit heavier. But just for general writing purposes, this is good. Um, so I do want to shake it as well. So this is something which I do like about this pencil. It's very sturdy. You can tell that this was, um, although it was mostly made in China, you can tell Rotring still most likely had certain specs that the manufacturers did have to meet, which does result in not a ton of acoustic sound, which is good. This means there's no wobbliness. There's no jankiness to the pencil. This I do think this pencil is a pencil. It's a cheaper alternative to more expensive writing instruments, which will serve you a long time. So in terms of rating, first I'll rate it on ease of writing. So this gets a 5. This is super easy to write with. I don't this I I've never broken the lead on this. I've used this before, and the lead just doesn't tend to break, uh, which is good. So the build quality, um, I'll give it a I'll give it a 3. Um, it is a budget alternative, right? Although there is a brass chuck, which just does help a lot. Overall, the pencil does use a lot of plastic. Uh, although it does seem like although it does seem like a well constructed product, just the fact that it's made out of plastic does have a certain impact on sketching and drafting. If you do use a heavier pencil for drafting, you'll notice right away the difference between a cheaper writing instrument and a more expensive instrument. If you compare this to a Rotring 800 or 500, you'll see right away the difference just because the pencil is heavier, which will cause you to have less wobbliness in your writing because you'll be putting down more weight onto the page. Um, so the expected durability, I'll give this a I'll give this a 4. Um, I think this is a pencil which can last you a long time. I do, however, have some concern about the some of the plastic components, especially the internal components. The barrel, I don't have a massive issue with. It's not the tip either. The tip is made out of aluminum. I'm quite certain of it. It just screams, as well as the cap is most likely made out of aluminum. I mean, it's a cap. It doesn't matter what material the cap is made out of. Just seeing that it's made out of aluminum does indicate to me that some material selection thoroughness was applied to the pencil. It wasn't just made to be a mass marketed product. This was made to be a reliable writing instrument. Um, but yeah, I do want to take this apart, but I am having some issues. Oh well, I won't take it apart. Uh, but yeah, it's mostly the plastic part which does hold the chuck. I do have some concerns with it. Also, I do not like plastic threading. Plastic threads are just bad in general for life. They don't hold up well. Um, However, uh, I could see this lasting you years if you use this as your daily driver, your only pencil, as long as you don't lose it. You could definitely have this kit for a while. Now, I do want to remind you guys it comes in a kit with an eraser and a lead and a pack of leads, and I don't think you'll be refilling this thing every test or every time you go to use it. This might be a kind of thing where you refill it once a month if you're using this daily. So take care of it, and it'll take care of you, I guess. Jamming. So I'll give this a 5 on jamming because I haven't had it jam on me previously. Yeah, that's all the comments I have to say on this. It just hasn't jammed. I don't think it will be a pencil which will jam often either. You do have a brass chuck, which is what you want to see in a mechanical pencil chuck. You want it to be made out of brass at least. You don't want a plastic chuck. You don't want a Zamek chuck. You really do want a brass chuck. Or aluminum's fine, but you do want a brass chuck. And aesthetics, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't quite like the aesthetic of this pencil. It does, as you can tell, I've used it not that much. I've had this thing for about 4 months, and I haven't used it daily either. And it's already the red paint's coming off. You can clearly tell the mold lines. The burgundy. This reminds me. This makes me think that this design hasn't been updated probably in, to be honest, decades. I haven't looked it up before, but this definitely has a 70s 80s look to it. Although this isn't bad, this might be what you want, but this doesn't scream out like you're not pulling this out in a meeting and impressing anyone. No one's gonna look at your pencil and think, well, whoa, this guy spent some money on this. So I'll give it a 3 on terms of aesthetics. Plus, there is this barcode which has "Made in China" on it, which I'm not a fan of. The "Made in China" could have been forged into the mold casting, but that's, oh well, it's more money, I guess. So overall, I'll give this a score of 20 out of 25, which is an 80%. So yeah, this is a good pencil, and again, I do want to remind you, you do get a Rotring branded eraser and lead kit. So if you need something around the $10 to $15 Canadian mark, you want something that's gonna last. You don't need this for drafting. You just need this for writing tests. You might have a lot of tests, especially if you're university or high school. This is a good pencil. It will last you. I don't think it's gonna clog often. I don't think it'll break often. Just don't take it apart all the time, obviously. But um, still, this is a good. This is good bang for your buck. So yeah, thanks guys. See you guys in the next one.